Okay. Tell us about the place you were born.
Well, first of all, my name is Shayla White, and I was born in Texarkana. And Texarkana is a twin city. It's Arkansas and Texas. You can stand in both at the same time.
As a child, what did you do in the summer?
As a child, the things I did in the summer was make dirt pies, play outside with my cousins and friends, and watched Hee Haw and the Golden Girls with my great grandparents.
What is one of your favorite childhood memories?
One of my favorite childhood memories would be, let me see, getting stuck in some quicksand and I thought I was going to die.
How large is your family?
Who? It depends on what. When you say family, exactly what do you mean family? You mean like my immediate family, like it's just me, my
Like the
husband?
people that lived in a home with you.
Oh, in my childhood, that's right. I'm so sorry. Thank you. You're such a good reporter. I would say about 25 people in my family.
When you were about 13, what was it like in your home in the evenings?
Ooh. Well, for those of you who don't know, my mother is Miss Brewster, who's over at Garland. Um, so, being 13 in the evening times, can you cut, please? I just can't talk anymore. I'm just playing. Being 13, it was fun. I would have to come home, do my work, homework, watch TV. We had a garden. I lived in the country, so we had pigs, cows, and it was just very, very exuberant.
How did you get to school?
The bus. And if I missed the bus, I had to walk.
Okay, describe the clothing styles when you were in high school.
Ooh, well, back in my day, there was this such style called cross colors. I believe MC Hammer invented them, and it was lots of loud colors, yellow, orange, bright colors, and we also wore Chuck Taylors, which are still in style, and just the regular. Oh, we used to wear Guess pants and kid tennis shoes, but all that's still in style.
How was the social life?
Social life was awesome. We didn't have cell phones back then. Didn't we have cell? Oh, they were huge cell phones, big as your face. But we just talked on the phone.
What time did your school start in the morning and end in the afternoon, and what month did it start and end?
Oh my good gracious! What time did our school start and end, and when did it start and end? It started, I believe, at 8:15, and it ended at 3:15. And we started school in August, and it ended in May.
How old were you when you started dating?
I was 16 when I started dating. My mother let me start. Well, actually, my mother and myself started dating at 16 because she dated right along with me.
What did you do when you went out on a date?
What did my mother and I do when we went on our date? I have to correct you because I never could go alone. There were just a lot of monsters out there. We would go to the movies, go out to eat, go to church, things like that.
Okay, what was a Saturday like when you were in grade school and high school?
A Saturday night?
A Saturday like?
Oh, what was a Saturday like? A Saturday was like going to the mall, to the movies. No, wait a minute. I spent all my weekends with my grandparents.
What age were you when you got married?
Oh, let me see. I believe I was 21.
Okay, what was your school segregated?
My school was not. It depends on what you mean segregated. The good and the bad, the tall and the short, big and ugly, black and white. What do you mean?
That pretty much sums it up about what I'm talking about.
Okay. No, it was not segregated.
Okay, how was your school different from the white, black school? Did your school integrate? What was the experience like?
Well, due to me being 35 years old, I'm almost 40, and I do know that I can tell you about my father, if
Okay.
that's okay, because he went to a segregated school, and he was one of the first ones in Texarkana area to attend a non-segregated school. So back in that day, He was picked on going there because it was different. You know, the kids were not used to kids of color. So, you know, after a while, the barriers were broken down, and it was okay. But the transitional period at that time was pretty rough. He told me it was pretty rough.
What type of chores did you have to do?
The type of chores I had to do was make sure my room was clean and make sure to bring home A's and B's. A C was acceptable, but it needed to come up to a B.
Okay, what kind of car did you have?
I had a Ford LTD, and all the handles on the inside were torn off. I had to roll my windows down to open the door.
Oh gosh. How much did gas cost?
Back then, gas was $1.85.
What was your first job?
My first job was at Fred's in Nashville, Arkansas.
How were the wages?
Minimum wage was $4.75.
How much education did you need to get a job?
I needed to know how to read and write and count.
Okay, what did you do when you turned 18?
When I turned 18, I believe, what did I do when I turned 18? I got a tattoo.
What kind of advice would you give today?
The type of advice I would give today to the young children would be to be in compliance with your children. Oh, no, what? What did you say?
What kind of advice would
And
you
I'm
give
sorry, I do work for Hope School, so it's been a long day. I didn't mean to say that. What did you say?
What kind of advice would you give to kids today?
The type of advice I would give to kids today, seriously, keep your pants pulled up, cover your top area up, mind your mother and your father or whoever you live with if it's your grandmother. Obey the teachers here at Hope High School because they have a really hard time with children listening and they want to talk back and everybody thinks they're grown. So the type of advice I would give would be just to keep your mouth shut and listen sometimes because we can tell you some things, We have lived before you guys and we're trailblazers and trying to make a way for you guys to live and, just to listen sometimes. Make good grades and keep your room clean and just do the right thing because if you do the right thing will always follow you. And another thing, hurting people hurt people. That means you have to be careful who you hurt.
Okay, thanks for the interview.
You're welcome.